wasn't it? Welcome. This is Debs Cooper, global stressologist, currently going live to talk about satisfaction versus inspiration. So, thanks for joining me. I'd love to know if you are here on the call live or if you are here as a replay. Let me know where you're from around the world. That would be fabulous as well. So, I think I say this every time. This is a goodie. Satisfaction versus inspiration. And when I started thinking about that, I actually was thinking more short-term satisfaction versus over long-term inspiration. So first, let me talk to you about what satisfaction is and inspiration. I'm just going to get my phone because I know what I would describe satisfaction as, and I know what I'd describe inspiration as. So satisfaction says fulfillment of one's wishes, expectations or needs, or the pleasure derived from this. Satisfaction, fulfillment of one's wishes. Inspiration. Inspiration is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to something creative. So mental stimulation. So when I hear that, I go, satisfaction, you're not mentally stimulated, which is a point that I'd love to make. So satisfaction versus inspiration. So satisfaction to me is when you're happy to do the job. And when I say happy, you are okay with doing the job. You're content. You are just average. You're like, okay, I've just got to do this, or I'm going to do this, and this is where I'm at, and you're just okay with doing it. And that is what I call satisfied. Also, when you come to the end of a project, you go, yeah, I've done that. Yep, I've done that. And you're more flat-lined than you would be over something else. When I talk about inspiration to me is when you're alive. We use a word in New Zealand called stoked, S-T-O-K-E-D, and you're stoked that you've done it. So it just means you're super pleased with what you've done. And I use the word super because it just has a little bit more emphasis on it. So you're super pleased that this has happened. So you're stoked. You're, yes, I got this done. And there's a little bit of pom-pom moment in there. So when I talk about pom-pom moment, I talk about the rah-rah, but it's a little bit of that coming into that. So satisfaction to me is a flat line, an average, yep, I've done that. Inspiration is when you're alive, and you know those moments when you're inspired. You know when you come away from a conversation with somebody and you're satisfied with the outcome, you're okay, yep. And then other times you come away from a conversation, you're inspired and you're like, I'm going to do this, and this is what I heard, and it keeps rolling. So it's usually when you do a task or others do a task for you. So you're either satisfaction, or you're inspired, inspiration from that. So there's two different things that actually label into the two is when you or others. So the satisfaction is when you, so if I say to do a task, you say to clean the house. I love that one. That always comes into play. Clean the house. So you're satisfied with that. One foot in front of the other. You know what you're doing. You don't, well, some people know what they're doing. They don't need to lay all the product out, get everything in order. They don't need to be organized because it's so easy they don't even think about it. So they're satisfied that they're doing the task and the outcome's done. And they don't need, at the end of the day, when someone goes, oh, did you clean the bathroom? They go, yeah, because they know they've already done it without having to think. Although then they go, did I clean the bathroom? Did I do that? Was there a particular song on? Because it's so easy and it's so in flow that they don't even need to think about it. So that means they're satisfied, satisfaction, it's done, yeah. I call it average. Inspiration is when you do clean the house and you're loving it. You're actually loving it. And you're alive when you're doing it and you're scrubbing away, my word, scrubbing away. And you're doing things and you're singing if you've got music on, or you're listening to something, or you're internally dialoguing whatever's going on in your mind, that's when you're inspired and you're alive, and it goes a lot faster. Satisfied is in flow and it goes, but when you're inspired, time flies. You know, when you're talking to somebody and someone goes, gosh, it's been an hour. And you're like, has it? I didn't even notice. That's when you're inspired about doing something. So I'm going to show you how to get inspired about doing tasks in a minute. But while I'm talking about this, I'd love you to think of a time when you were satisfied. When were you satisfied with doing something? I call it average. When you're content, you're like, okay, yeah. And, or when you were inspired, alive. So this could be cleaning the house. This could be cleaning the house. So just think of a time when you're satisfied or inspired cleaning the house, cleaning your car even. When you were looking after your children, or looking after your neighbor's children, or your friend's children, or something like that. When you were walking the dog, were you satisfied or inspired? I'm just planting a few seeds for you to start thinking about this. When you go to work, and work is an interesting word that actually can be satisfied or can be inspired. When you go to a job, so if I say job, it's more satisfied. But if you say go to work, it's got a little bit of a perk, a little kick in it. So it's more likely inspiration coming from that. So when you go to that, so for me, I work for myself. So I don't see myself going to a job or going to work, because I see it in my life that I live and breathe what I teach and educate others on anyway. So I don't see it as a job. I definitely don't see it as work either. I just see it as part of my being. So think of those times. What about when you save money? Is that something when you look at the bank account, are you satisfied or are you inspired about what you've saved? Just start thinking, start thinking, start thinking. When you do some exercise, or you go to the gym, or you start eating healthy or anything like that, are you satisfied with what's happening around you, or are you inspired about doing it? So satisfaction, I say, is plateau. Inspired is where you'd like to be pretty much all the time. Just know you cannot be inspired 24/7. You're going to have the roller coaster of life. Nobody can be inspired 24/7. No one can be satisfied 24/7. You will have highs and lows throughout life, whether they're this high, this low, or whether they come together, highs and lows. So the key to be inspired, because you want to go, how am I gonna be inspired? How? Tell me, Deb. So the key to get yourself inspired about what you do is one word, and it's called linking. Linking. So what you're doing is you're going to link the exercise, the task, the job, the activity, whatever you'd like to label it. You're going to exercise that, you're going to label that, and you're going to link it to what's important to you. Not what's important to your family, not what's important to your boss, what's important to you, because you're the one who has to do this task. You're the one who would love to do this task. You're the one who needs to do this task. You're the one who's going to do the task. So, unless you delegate, obviously. So, by doing this, you're going to link. Now, there's a few words in linking, and I'm going to do this with you now. So I'd love you to let me know in the comments what's the task that you don't like doing, and then what's important to you. So the task and what's important. So you're going to ask yourself, how doing number one will get me number two. So number one is, so I'm going to say clean the house, clean the bathroom, make the beds, whatever it is, make the kids lunches, whatever it is. So I'm going to say clean house. So how cleaning the house is going to get me, that was number one, clean house is number one, going to get me, maybe your physical appearance is important to you, get me a toned body. or a healthier lifestyle. How doing, number one, cleaning the house is going to get me the healthier lifestyle. That's it. That's the only question. And then you're going to list those down. So how cleaning a house is going to get me a healthier body. So for one, it's going to, if you're scrubbing the floors, it's going to cut down on the back wings. It's going to cut down on this. It's going to tone your arm muscles. It's going to, while you're doing the cleaning of the house or the scrubbing of the floor, or I can't even believe I'm talking about cleaning. Clearly I need to clean, don't I? If you're any of this, you're going to clench your butt. You're going to clench your butt while you're doing it. Are you going to do, woman, are you going to do your pelvic floors? Man, are you going to hold your tummy in tight? And what are you going to do? So think of those things that you're doing while you're exercising your body by cleaning the floor, making the bed. Do you bend a certain way? Do you stretch a certain way? Do you hold your arms a certain way? Do you use your mouth a certain way? What is that doing that's tightening up and strengthening the muscles in your body? So how doing that, cleaning the house is number one, is going to get me that healthier body. So there's a lot of links. There's actually a lot of links you can do to physical for your body, for cleaning the house. But let's go to the mental. How does that help you mentally to have that healthier body? So while you're cleaning the house, you can be listening to music. You can be listening to a podcast. You can be listening to a Facebook Live. You don't have to watch it. You can be listening to an audio book. You can be listening to anything out there that's stimulating your mind, your thinking. If you've got a talk that you've got to do for work or at school or anything like that, maybe you can record it and you can practice while you're there. So while you're cleaning, it's going to stimulate your mind because you're thinking of other things. So how doing, number one, the task, cleaning house, cleaning whatever it is, going to get you the toned body, the healthier lifestyle. And you're going to do those links. Now, they're also known as benefits. They're also known as value adds to your life. So you're going to do probably about at least 15 to 20. And that will give you a different level of inspiration instead of just satisfied with doing that task. You will find you'll have more flow. It'll get done quicker when your mind is ticking over. So you can do that even while you're cleaning the house, because it's not like you need a lot of brain capacity to clean a house, in my mind. Well, unless you're pretty disorganized and you don't actually know what you're doing and you need lists. So, okay, that's fine. So how doing, number one, to get you number two. And number two is whatever's important to you. So now I've talked about cleaning the house. I'm actually going to go to another one, is that go to work. I'm going to do a link again and I'm going to go how going to work. So if your family is important to you, so let's say number two is family, and number one is going to work, or going to work. So you're going, how doing, number one, going to work is going to get you the happier family, the more fulfilling family, the inspired family, the whatever you'd like to call it family, the alive family, a healthier family. So how going to work, number one, to work, going to get you the healthier family, or whatever you'd like to label it, number two. So how going to work? It's going to allow them to have their own world without you, so they're not going to become dependent on you. It's going to, that's one link, it's going to allow you to earn money that you can bring back to the family. It's going to allow you to have different conversations at the business, at work, that you can bring home and you can educate the children, the dog, the partner, whatever it is, the extended family. I was talking to a lovely gentleman the other day, and he was talking about how he would come home and he would talk and have some great conversations with his sister about things that she was uneducated on, or he perceived as uneducated on. She just had one-sided view. Uneducated on his side and the bigger issue of what's going on out there. So how going to work is going to get you the healthier lifestyle with your family. Then if you would like to, you can add how does it serve your children or your family that you go to work, if you'd like to put another edge on this. So how does it serve your children or your family that you go to work? And you're going to do this again, and I'm going to ask for another 15 at least. And when I say 15, because 15 you're going to start feeling a flow that's very different to what you've got right now. So I would love you to try this exercise. Let me know if you don't want to put it up in the comments. You can let me know privately. I would love to know satisfaction versus inspiration if this has helped you. I've got a couple of tasks today that I'm doing that I'm actually really inspired about. There was no linking required, and I'm looking forward to those. So let's get you going on that inspiration that feels alive, and it's just a nice warm feeling that's within you, that you're going to hang out with some people and you're going to pass that on to them. And that's the inspiring stuff, that you pass it on to them, they pass it on to you. So that is Debs Cooper over and out. Short-term satisfaction versus long-term inspiration. Thanks for having me. I will see you next week with something different. Have a great day, people.